All right, everybody. Welcome to the October 31st, 2019 ACC Capital Stock Market Report. It's your host, Tyler Reardon. Quick disclaimer, we do not offer trade advice here at ACC Capital. We just provide education, let you follow along with some of our trading opportunities, and hopefully everyone gains something out of it. So we'll begin as we do every day, covering the news, some of the headlines first. We'll go into the Fed decision yesterday. The market's responding positively to that, so we'll take a little bit of time on that. We'll go over two big earnings, Facebook and Apple. Take a look at that, see where that is pre-market. Look at the earnings reports for those two, um, as well as kind of look at our pre-market movers as well and check news on that. So kind of the same thing that we do every broadcast. Consistency is key. As you know, trading the markets. Looking at the futures, pretty muted, nothing too exciting. I will say oil and natural gas looks pretty decent. If natural gas continues to rise, Market Watch doesn't do a good job on natural gas. I usually use CNBC. But if natural gas rises and the market goes down later, I might try to play ETF play for natural gas, but we'll see how it goes. So first, let's check out the headlines, see what's going on in the markets. It's about 5:01 a.m. Eastern time, so it's rather early, but early bird gets the worm. So here we go. We got news filtering in. It's 12:20. So Nationals win the World Series. Wow, don't watch baseball, but congrats. All right, China manufacturing drops to an 8-month low. All right, it's this trade war. It's the trade war, so definitely having an impact on the Chinese economy. We'll go over that. I think there's going to be some more news on the trade war here shortly. I know that they're still talking. Trump and Xi. Now it's just a matter of finding out where they're going to meet to hash out the phase one deal. So, see, Dutch lender ING posted a 3% profit lead. Got 12% move pre-market on that. ING. Air France profit falls. Not seeing really too much anything. Again, it's still early. It's 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we'll uh, we'll check back here in a minute for that. I'm gonna open up a new tab here. Let's take a look at some of our pre-market movers. Gonna use Benzinga. These guys are pretty good, pretty interesting on what they do here. So let's take a look at this. Um, Looks like we got XNet. I looked at this stock before. It's pretty interesting. Uh, Pretty good move here on XNet. Let's take a look at the chart. Looks like this was a. Oh, nope, we got news. Let's see. Um, what they do is they're a computer technology uh, cryptocurrency play. So, you know, they do follow crypto quite a bit, in particular Bitcoin prices. Let me make sure I'm recording. Oh, yes. Okay. Whew. But looks like there was some news that came out yesterday. So let's see. Um, Set up a 100 million fund to invest in blockchain technology, leading innovator in share cloud computing, blah blah blah. So okay, they're starting a fund for blockchain, which is pretty interesting. So let's take a look at. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this article. Um, modest move. I would guess that this from we could have bought the dip here, about $1 gain roughly, which isn't bad. I mean, that's pretty significant for a stock at that price. That's not a bad gig. I would take a look at this in the future. You never know. This is a really good buy the dip opportunity. If I look at the 1 month chart, that's crazy. I still think there's some room here for another 61% move. If we can get up here and break through that resistance. But we'll see. Again, it's a crypto move. So, let's take a look at what we got in the cryptocurrencies. We'll use Bitcoin as our stick here. If I can get it. There we go. All right. So crypto still, so Bitcoin still down. Bitcoin or crypto in general is still down. It's like Litecoin. It's kind of hanging in there, but for the most part, Bitcoin is. So at this play, this is a huge move upward on not too pressing of news for me. So I might continue to take a look at this and possibly buy a dip. But I probably won't be a buyer today. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Thanks. See a lot of these penny stocks. Folks, penny stocks, you can make a lot of money paying attention. I am going to put XNet on my November watch list. Oops. A lot of things going on here. Only because I think that would be good to keep an eye on. So I'm just going to put XNet. And it looks like we're diversifying pretty well as far as industries are concerned. So, got a cosmopolitan. Definitely want to add XNet. All right, so going back to, let's see, IC has got a 46-cent move on a $3.56 or $3.56 stock. That's pretty good. Bio pharmaceutical. Wow, that's a tremendous upward. Woohoo! Okay, where were we? Let's see. Take a look at this. So this happened on Monday. Headline is hits eye drug goals as shares shot for tiny biotech. Oh, these advertisements. Oh boy. Sorry. Hopefully they're not making you sick. So let's see. Looks like it had some positive data results. Um, tremendous move. That's a really good move here. Um, let's take a look at the 5-day. Where were we at? So yesterday, looks like it had a slight dip at the open, about a 13-cent dip, and then just took off. So this is a multi-day move going back to the 28th. That's pretty significant. So if I go, that's a $1.75 move. That's pretty significant. Um, Definitely want to keep my eye on that. So I will definitely put that in the watch list. I see. Um, will I play it? I don't know. Let's take a look at the volume. Actually, before we do that, I want to take a look at this IC best and worst performing small cap stock for October 30th. Well, with a move like that, actually, I don't need to look at that. I can already tell why it's the best performing. Um, I'm gonna go and oops, what am I trying to do? Go to Yahoo. I want to take a look and see what the volume is for this. That's a significant move. Makes me jealous. That's high volume, guys. Not to say that high volume doesn't mean that there can be a continuation. There very well could be a continuation today. Um, but I just don't know. I don't risk uh, capital when there's that many buyers. At any point in time, there can be a seller, meaning a seller who sells a bunch of shares. I don't want to be left holding the bag on this. But I will keep an eye on it. If I get a significant dip or I see something like that, I'll probably definitely buy a couple shares, but we'll see how it goes. You never know with these things. But definitely something to keep on the watch list, keep an eye on. Good rule of thumb is you probably want 20 stocks on your watch list at any given point. Looks like silver's making a move to the upside. Gold and silver. And we'll go over why that might be here in a minute. All right. Oh, I see. All right, Facebook. One of the earnings that we were going to cover, we might as well get into it a little bit now. Pre-market mover at $9.26. Move there, pretty significant. I think about $1 and some change from last night. It's moved up. Um, so take a look at news here on their revenue or on their earnings. Exceeded analyst expectations. So came in at $2.12 versus $1.91 per share. Revenue was 7.65 billion versus the forecast of 17.37 billion. Daily active users came in over $1 billion, or not $1 billion, excuse me, billion users versus the expectations. Monthly active users remain flat. Average revenue per user up about 19 cents or so, roughly. So pretty good earnings report. I would take a look at this monthly active users remaining flat and this daily active users. Looks like we're still the growth potential here might be stagnant. Let's take a look and see. It's like ad growth through Instagram and new formats like stories is what's allowing that positive feedback by the street. Pretty good. Pretty good earnings. We'll see how this goes on to the day. I do think that there could be a possible continuation play. Won't spend too much time on that. It kind of speaks for itself. Um, the article. So we'll see what Facebook does from here. It will be interesting. That's a pretty good move. Um, I like this. How Facebook shares typically trade following Q3 earnings. So about a 3.8% move. So I wouldn't think that we would get too much more movement today, but definitely this would be a good buy the dip opportunity. Um, Definitely a good buy the dip opportunity, assuming you buy on the day of a good market. Um, yeah, that's not trading advice. It's just what we typically see over here. So for us, we'll probably wait to buy dip. Take a quick look back at the market. Uh-oh, U.S. stock futures turned lower on report on China doubts of a long-term trade deal. Oh no. So, wow. Okay. It can happen just like that, folks. The market can change. It was up, now it's down. Standard market. Or for this is standard. So, we'll see what happens there. We'll take a look at that article here in a minute. We're going to go back to the pre-market movers here, though. We don't want to lose focus. All right, FCAU. Let's take a look at that. Fiat Chrysler, I believe this was another earnings play they reported. They beat expectations. Um, oh, nope, nope. Merger. All right, so let's see. Looks like there's a possible merger, maybe. That's why we check these, folks, because you never know when an opportunity might present itself. Fiat Chrysler and I cannot pronounce that owner agreed to merge in mega auto deal. Um, okay, definitely something to keep an eye on. Oh, gosh, another advertisement. Alrighty, all right. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking at this. How this price action fares today. I can see maybe some upward potential, possibly. Possibly. Great move. Great move up. Have to take a look at that. All right, Fiat making some news. Uh, you guys, You gas is up because natural gas is up. We kind of talked about that already. All right, Apple. Let's do Apple. Apple's up on earnings. Apple had a good earnings report. Um, Going up pre-market. Take a look. You see if we can get some headlines from yesterday. Beat Wall Street's expectations and earnings, even as iPhone sales came in lighter than expected. So hype for the iPhone 11 wasn't all that was cracked up to be. Total revenue was up partially due to 18% growth in Apple services, businesses, and 54% growth in wearables, including the AirPods. Folks, 5G is going to bring out the wearables. There will be a wearable revolution. You will see a lot of wearables. That is a very smart growth initiative that Apple pushed. So expect more growth from Apple, more revenue coming in the future. Apple reported fourth quarter earnings and expectations on Wednesday thanks to strong performance in services again in wearables. Repeated ourselves there. Revenue was 64 billion versus 62.99 billion. Pretty good. EPS came in at 303 versus 284. Pretty good. Q1 revenue guidance 85.5 billion compared to 89.5 billion. Excuse me, 85.5 billion, 89.5 billion versus the 86.92 billion estimate. That's interesting because that's a pretty that's a interesting range um, compared to the expectations. And we saw this at AMD. They kind of had a similar range, and the stock dropped. So really, with these earnings, you don't really know what the price action is going to dictate, especially when you have a stock like this that's at all-time highs. You would expect it to hit on all cylinders, and I'm surprised that the stock was able to increase despite this range for Q1 guidance. But again, blowing revenue out of the water, blowing EPS out of the water, um, this might be, and then optimism based on their service and wearables, and that 5G is going to be coming out 2020. So, argument can go either way. So good job on Apple if you played it. Congratulations. Bear with me for just a second. Let's see, we got SDRL. Seadrill. I'm guessing that that's an oil play. This time of year, Seadrill is pretty good. Don't know why I can't find. I'm on the news. Okay, why? Up 4 cents. Not too much, but it's again, you know, buy the dip opportunity here. I'm going to kind of stay away from oil only because I think there's a there's low demand, high quantity, but that can always change. But we'll see. Let's see. I think oil might be currently. Yeah, oil's climbing back up there, folks. Natural gas is climbing back up there, folks. It's getting cold. All right. Good job, Seadrill. All right, let's see. UWT up 23 cents. Well, probably not too much going on here, but we'll check it out. Crude oil. Again, oil's up. UWT is an ETF. Good oil play. Um, TQQQ up $1.17. Pretty good. I don't know what's know what that's about. Could have been a change, actually, with this news, with this China news. Might have been a change here. It can happen that quickly. That's why I don't like to jump on pre-market things. GSK, pretty decent move here. It's like it just had an earnings beat. So this could be a continuation. This might be a good continuation play. So I will probably put, I like pharmaceuticals that have proven themselves and have a high demand for its products. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the handy dandy watch list for November. Might be a good play there. We'll see. We shall see. Already kind of going back and forth, little chop. 5-day looks pretty decent. $1.78 move. To see that. 296 move for the 1 month. So not bad. I kind of like that movement. There, that might be something of interest. Might be another buy the dipper. We'll have to see what happens. But pretty decent. Pretty decent movement. Okay, we're chopping them down. So that's it for the pre-market thus far. Again, I like to look at the pre-market at 5 a.m. I know pre-market news happens, after we're done with this pre-market broadcast. Um, but our intraday, we don't really trade pre-market here, but it is interesting to see some of the early movers and the continuation plays. Um, so it's interesting to see that. We're going to go into some of the stocks that are losing right now. We're not going to go into details to see what's making them lose. We'll start to do that probably in future episodes because I think if you're shorting stocks, we don't want to um, isolate the bears here and just go for the bulls. But there's plenty of laggers here, so we'll just kind of go through this list here um, of laggards, and maybe one day we'll do bull news, and then the other day we'll do bear news to kind of keep it interesting. But we do have a lot of pre-market um, laggers here too. Western Digital, Tulio, Etsy, PC&G down, Twitter down, Micron, Nordstrom, Owens. We'll take a look and see what's going on with some of these. Actually, I might just go through these. Why not? Western Digital down 566. Interesting. Look at the 5-day, down about 77 cents from the 5-day period, 6 months. So I think Western Digital had an interesting. Wow, look at that drop. Look at that bounce back. Whew. So, second quarter profits would come in sharply below analyst expectations, and that its chief executive officer would retire soon. So that's what sent the shares down 10%. Looks like it was an overreaction to that news, and so there was a bounce back. and then it dropped again as an analyst thought about it more. And then now we're all the way down to, well, we're back up slightly from yesterday's end of market close, 50 cents. So um, if you're looking for a short opportunity, this might be one for you. Western Digital also had bad news. Um, I believe it had a bad earnings report as well. Let's take a look and see. Yeah. We gotta do something for the Bears. Market dropping. Market dropping hard here. So it looks like Western Digital stock is trading sharply lower. It's like late Wednesday after the company provided. Okay. So company posted revenue of 4.0 million, down 19.6% from a year ago. A drop that reflects sharp price declines in flash memory, but above the street consensus at $3.93 million. So non-GAAP profit for 34 cents a share, above the street at 30 cents. Okay. So there might be some more downward potential here, something to take a look at. Keep an eye on that if you're looking at short. Definitely one that you might be interested in. Twilio just down. See if there's any news on Twilio. Short earnings guidance. I can imagine. Etsy. Let's see what's going on here. Another Q3 earnings. Looks like it was down a little bit from the earnings. The market didn't like that. Twitter. Twitter might be a good bounce back play. I don't know. I'm going to add Twitter to the list here. Might even add Western Digital to my short list. I'm going to hold off on the short list here. We're going to look at gainers for right now. Micron trading down. I doubt there's any significant news on Micron. But let's see. It's trading down 38 cents. Trade war isn't going to help. It's like Nordstrom, JWN, down 11. Looks like it probably just shot up too high. I would agree with that. More CC. I have no idea what they do. Not sure what they do. Why? Looking for some short opportunities. Earnings miss. Interesting there. And LIN. Let's take a look at LIN. Righty. Don't see much going on for LIN. Alright, so that goes for the pre-market screener. So moving on. Folks, my little lovely positive music going on there. Alright, so U.S. stock futures record China doubts long-term trade. Get away. Pact possible with Trump. Definitely a market mover. I think I'm going to let my computer stop pulling up advertisements here. Uh, so I'm interested. There's not really any more news here. That's kind of annoying. Let me see what's going on. See if we can check news here. Futures are down, folks. Not looking good. I'm also looking on my phone as well to see if I can find anything. So bear with me. I'll just look here. So I'm not quite sure what that's about. One thing I don't like about Market Watch is sometimes they come out with these headlines before they have more solid information for me to gauge off of. But I will say that the market is responding to that news. We can log back to here to our futures list here. So market's down off that news, folks. Slight uptick silver, not too much though, but the market is down on that news. So I'd be curious to kind of look and see what's going to go on there later today. Also, keep in mind too that the impeachment vote is today, right? So that might cause some more downward pressure on the market, but it looks like the market was trying to get a leg up, and we're at all-time highs. So any little bit of news is just going to hurt the market. So keep that in mind as you're going through the day. Alibaba reports earnings tomorrow. Maybe this is where we can find our article. Nope. Same thing we were just at. So I just kind of shoot out the headline without giving any more news. All right. So Nasdaq giving up some of its gains from yesterday slightly. Silver's going up on this. So definitely want to take a look at that. I'm sure the spreads are outrageous. Um, but we'll see. There might be still some good opportunities there. But if I was a holder of silver, I'd ask for a big price. So silver's up, gold's up. With this impeachment inquiry, I'm sure it's going to be madness. So expect it to continue, possibly to go up. Might look at gold, silver, possibly natural gas. Might look at the UGAS, see what's going on there. But the market's continuing to drop based on the China news. So we'll see how it goes, folks. Not really too much interesting stuff going on in the market. I think it's going to be kind of centered around the Chinese trade, China-U.S. trade war, more impeachment news, um, things of that nature, earnings, you know, probably some possible earnings. Got some reports coming out tomorrow. Alibaba's tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. But all across the board, we're looking at a choppy market, heavy volatility. So some things I'm probably going to look at is, oh, we didn't look at the economic calendar, did we? We almost forgot the economic calendar. That's very important. So what happens? We get okay, so we get the weekly jobs. So that's going to be a market mover. Employment cost index, personal income, consumer spending, Chicago PMI. So we got some heavy hitters coming up later in the day, which can influence the market. So this is going to be an interesting day as we get on later into the day around 8:30. So look at Thursday, October 31st. That's what we got coming up. So, trade cautiously. A couple things we're going to look at probably is JNUG Gold ETF. Take a look at that. It's already up, you know, based upon just the price action of gold. Take a look at silver, AG. It's our favorite silver play. So we'll take a look at silver. Don't let the pre-market fool you. I'm sure the spreads and the ask on that is amazing. Anixter International had an acquisition. Was up $12.02, folks. We talked about that yesterday. The move came basically pre-market. You did have a couple, had a chance to make an additional 232, but again, those pre-market moves usually stay flat. Because the market is the way it is, I'm going to add on a tab here because I am going to want to see what the UVXY with the volatility is going to do. It might be a good play here. It was down 71 cents on the market yesterday. Um, but I'm interested to see where this can go. So would have loved to have been in on it on the dip here, but we can't always be so lucky. But again, you never know what the market's going to bring on a day-to-day basis. Uh, and then I'm going to take a look at Fitbit. Fitbit had a pretty nasty drop. And again, now it's just a volume of traders trading it. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that recovers, or if they get bought out, or what happens. But don't forget about Fitbit. Again, we'll look at our pre-market movers, or not pre-market movers. We're going to take a look at our November watch list to see if we can get a head start. One more thing I want to look at is, bear with me. There's a pharmaceutical play. They are coming with an announcement on Friday, I believe. I'm going to see if there's going to be any potential play here for TVIO. So TVIO is another one. So I want to look for TVIO. That could be a good play there. So I'm going to leave you out with a little bit of positive music, I guess, to get your mind going for the trading day. I'll catch you later on in the day, probably post-market, just to see what happens and do some recaps on some things that we found interesting. Be careful trading. It's going to be very volatile, as you can see. And have a great morning.